Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Recently I tested out Crayola's Crayon Maker and today we are going to play around with the Marker Maker. Alright, let's open up the box and see what is inside. Like the Crayon Maker, this is a toy that I had when I was a kid, so things in here might be a little bit messy. So this looks like a bunch of tubes and nibs and I'm not sure what you call these things, but the cotton that absorbs the ink. So here we have the marker maker itself. Here are stickers to label the markers, and then the instructions and some boxes that you can design. That's cool. And then lastly, we have some colors that who knows how long they've been in here for. Now the thing that differs between the marker maker and the crayon maker is that the marker maker has ink in it. And I have no idea if the ink is dry or not. Like the crayon maker, as long as you have the light bulb, you can melt whatever crayons in it. This is a little bit more determined by the ink situation. That should be interesting to see. Hopefully it still works. These markers, I haven't tried them out, but like honestly, they look still wet. So let's hope that the ink is still good to go. Maybe I should read the directions because I'm worried I'm gonna break this. Oh, that was difficult. I don't know if that's what I was supposed to do or not. So one of the limitations to the marker maker, especially compared to the crayon maker, is that the marker maker only has these 3 primary colors of ink. And luckily the ink looks all wet and good to go. So like with the crayon maker, you can literally mix together whatever colors to get whatever shade of crayon you want. Meanwhile, the marker maker, you're kind of limited by the primary colors you have. Luckily, the marker maker does come with this little kind of cheat sheet. Really though, I think the first thing I need to do is read the directions. I am hoping that I don't splash ink everywhere and ruin my clothing. Okay. Press 1 nib into the narrow end of a marker barrel. 1 nib, I found a nib. And then the thin end of a marker barrel, so I think it goes in here. Place the barrel nib down into the well. What's the well? Oh, here, down in here. So what I'm thinking today is that I will use a recipe that they give, and then I will just make up my own recipe for one. So I know with the old markers that I did when I was a kid, most of them really heavily favored the blue-green, or I think there was one that was like down here. So today I think I am going to make this reddish purple. So I'm going to use this one, which is 12 drops of red and 3 drops of blue. Oh, they want the measuring tubes here? Okay, I guess I will put them here. They're being like very scientific about it. It's very funny. Carefully pour each color into a tube. Using tweezers, gently lower the core into the measuring tube. Oh, okay, so one of these. And I use these tweezers and I dip it into the tube. Luckily you can lock these down, so okay, I dip it into the tube. Okay, so I'm gonna do 12 red and 3 blue. So here is the red. I'm really hoping this is not too messy. Oh, there are actually lines. I thought it was like drops. There are actually lines on the tube. Let me show you guys. There are actually lines on the tube. That makes things a little easier. All right, so I'm gonna put 12 drops of this in up to the 12th line. This is kind of a lot of ink. And then 3 more blue. So the total is always 15. All right. And then, very scientifically, I use these specialized tweezers. Okay. So, I guess it's being sucked in a little bit. Allow core to sit until all ink is absorbed. It is slowly absorbing it. Okay, so there is the purple recipe. I kind of want to try to flip it. I'm just making up my own rules here. And everything seems to be absorbed. So When the measuring tube is empty, transfer the core to the marker barrel. Use tweezers to gently push core down the barrel. You guys probably can't see this very well, but I kind of jammed it down in there using that holder. Insert the plug closed side up. Where's the plug? There's the plug. Insert the plug closed side up halfway into the barrel. Okay, well, that's a click. Pull handle forward and press down firmly on the marker. I should hear some clicks, but I don't know if I just pressed these hard already. So I think that's all closed up. Cool. Here's a cap. Putting a cap on. And look, the ink is already transferring down into the nib. And then I have to sit it upright to have it go down to the nib. All right, it seems I've gotten the hang of it. Let's do another one. So far, I'm actually finding this a lot less messy and like cumbersome to clean than the crayon maker. Like, for example, this is the tube that I used and like the ink washed right out of it. Like, I had no problem. Well, I made 4 crayons, so maybe I'll make 4 markers. I will say though, there was really only 2 colors of crayon. I'm kind of interested in trying like a lime green. So right now I'm thinking purple, lime green, like a blue green, and that pinkish like peach color, and I think that would be a lovely set of 4. So the next one I'm going to do is this lime green. I think I'm actually wanting it just a little bit more yellow just to make things a little bit different than like this card. So I'm gonna do 13 yellow and 2 blue. I will say, this is like a lot of ink. I wouldn't have thought that each marker would require this much ink. And then let's do the 2 blue. And I am hoping that's a lovely lime green. I actually did this out of order. I need to put a nib in the tube. Put this in here. I take this. I'm going to insert it here. Here, let me do a close-up here so you can sort of see it. But isn't it cool how that ink is being absorbed? All right, I'm gonna do what I did to the other one and flip it over. All right, put this in there, push it down, and then with this, I'm gonna put it on top. I've been pushing this all the way. It actually says to only push it like halfway, so this can do all the final work. And then we put a cap on it, and we sit it down. This is lots of fun. I'm having fun. And the process is so much quicker than the crayon maker. Like, if you're impatient, this one's definitely better than the crayon maker. All right, the next ones we're going to do are a blue-green and a peach pink. So I think I wanted to favor blue just a little bit more because I have the lime green. This one says 12 blue and 3 yellow. So let's do 11 blue and 4 yellow. This one looks a little bit more green leaning than I thought it would, I guess. But I did put in more yellow than the one recipe, so I guess I should have expected it to be a little bit more greeny. Put the cap on the nib and let it sit. All right, I'm gonna wash these off and then we'll do the last color. So for this last one, I am actually going to be following the recipe because I like the color on the card a lot. It is 3 yellow and 12 red. And this is really the only warm color I'm doing today, so this should be interesting to see how it turns out. It looks a little bit more orange than I was hoping, but like, what can I expect? It's red and yellow. All right, so we have 4 markers. I'm going to clean things up, and then when I come back, we are going to swatch these and see if we can come up with names for all of them. All right, so I just have a couple pieces of printer paper, and now I'm going to test these 4 colors. All right, here are our 4 markers. I believe this one was first. This one should be the purple, if I'm correct. That one looks so dark. It's like navy. That is not at all what I thought that would look like. So right now, I am thinking midnight would be a good color for this marker. The next marker we made was this lime green color. So let's see how this looks. That is indeed a really lovely lime green. We could go with the obvious, like a lime, or maybe key lime. I like that. Otherwise, we could do something like grass or nature related maybe. I don't know, meadow. Gosh, I hope this is how you spell this word. Our next color is a blue-green. All right, let's test this out. So this one, like, reminds me, I don't know, deep sea. It's kind of greenish for that, I guess. How about tropical teal? That one's nice. I like that one. And then finally, we have this like orange peachy color. This one's nib. I'm not sure if you can tell, but it has like a little bit of a dark spot. That's probably just from doing all these like darker colors before it and not cleaning out like the hole where you put the nib. Yeah, that's definitely an orange. It's not really a pink at all. So a color similar to this when I was a child, I named Tropical Punch, I think. But considering we had Tropical Teal, I think probably not. However, we do have like kind of a vacation-y vibe. And midnight, we might be able to come up with something else like with a theme. So if it's like key lime and tropical teal, this looks like really, my brain went fresh and fruity. Fresh and fruity makes me laugh so bad that it might be key lime, tropical teal, fresh and fruity. So what if midnight simply you add a sky to the end of it? Then it's midnight sky, key lime, tropical teal, and fresh and fruity. I'm gonna make some labels for these markers. All right, here are the labels. All right, and here are the markers with their labels. There we have it, the Marker Maker. Overall, I had a really fun time playing with it. It has some competition with the Crayon Maker. When I first opened it, I thought, like, no way is this going to be as good as the Crayon Maker because you can't make nearly as many colors as you can with the Crayon Maker, so the ink does limit it a little bit. However, you can make so many more markers in the time that you can make crayons. So there are some like upsides and downsides to this. This one requires a lot more like plastic. So once you go through and make the, I think 16 markers you can make, you're kind of done with this thing, which is unfortunate. I mean, maybe you can buy these sort of like marker pieces. I don't know, I haven't looked into it, but most people, they would be done after the 16 markers. You can make like infinitely as many crayons as you want as long as the light bulb works. So there are ups and downs to both of them. Both of them are very fun toys. This one you have to like sit around and wait a lot less. And honestly, I thought this one was a ton easier to clean. Now kids probably wouldn't destroy their clothing with the Crayon Maker, and they very well could destroy their clothing with this. But like cleanup wise, you can just wash ink off versus like you have to like scrape and scrape and scrape the crayon wax. And like, I'll be honest, like it's never going to look brand new. This essentially looks brand new every time because it's so much easier to clean out the ink. So all in all, I had a really great experience with this. I'll be donating it after this video, so I hope whoever ends up with it enjoys it and has a lot of fun with it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, consider clicking the like button or perhaps leaving a comment. And if you'd like to see more of my stuff, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out that one. I talked all about my experience on the Disney College program and working at Walt Disney World. I worked really hard on it, so it would be great if more people saw it. Bye guys!